tonight. It all began tonight. I saw you and the world went away. Tonight, tonight, there's only you tonight. What you are, what you do, what you say. Today I had the feeling a miracle would happen. I know now I was right. For here you are, and what was just a word is a star.
Tonight, tonight, the world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight, tonight, the world is wild and bright, going mad, shooting sparks into space. Today the world was just an address, a place for me to live in, no better than alright. But here you are, and what was just a world is a star. Tonight.
Well, good evening. I am David Griffin, and I am the co-chair of the Dallas Institute of Humanities and Culture. And this has been a show that we've talked about for a long time. And about a year ago, we said, let's don't just have pipe dreams. Let's just make things happen. And so tonight, music. I wanted to say just a little bit before we get started. The Broadway musical has always expressed to me the excitement of being alive, expressing everything from the times when you want to shout it to the rafters to the moments when you think your heart might break. And then in cabaret style, which is what we're doing tonight, there's the immediacy of the performance and the performers. Music and rhyme have greatly enhanced life, probably since man and woman first walked the earth. At the Dallas Institute, we're well known for celebrating the written word. It's long been a goal of the Institute to explore the connection of music to poetry. So tonight, our troupe of local musicians invite you to explore with us some of the well-known and some not so well-known songs written by leading 20th and 21st century composers and lyricists. Many, but not all of the songs that we'll hear tonight were inspired to move a particular story along or to make you understand more completely about a character in a specific show. Our hope is that whether or not you know the context of the song, you will still be able to travel in the emotion and the sentiment of what has been so skillfully expressed. Everybody knows tonight the wonderful song from West Side Story. Where is the mic stand, by the way? Oh. I am going to sing now two songs from the 1930s. One is by Rodgers and Hart called Glad to Be Unhappy. It's like the song about unrequited love. And then I'm doing a song by Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein called The Folks Who Live on the Hill. Look at yourself. If you had a sense of humor, you would laugh to beat the band. Look at yourself. Do you still believe the rumor that romance is simply grand? Since you took it right on the chin, You have lost that bright toothpaste grin. My mental state is all a jumble. I sit around and sadly mumble. Fools rush in, so here I am, very glad to be unhappy. I can't win, but here I am, more than glad to be unhappy. Unrequited love's a bore, and I've got it pretty bad. But for someone you adore, it's a pleasure to be sad. Like a straying baby lamb with no mammy and no pappy, I'm so unhappy, but oh, so glad. Many men with lofty aims strive for lofty goals. Others play at smaller games, being simpler souls. I am of the latter brand. All I want to do is to find a spot of land and live there with you. Someday we'll build a home on a hilltop high, you and I, shiny and new, a cottage that two can fill, and we'll be pleased to be called the folks who live on the hill. Someday we may be adding a thing or two, a wing or two. We will make changes as any family will, but we'll always be called the folks who live on the hill. Our veranda will command a view of meadows green, the sort of view that seems to want to be seen. And when the kids grow up and leave us, we'll sit and look at that same old view, just we two, Darby and Joan, who used to be Jack and Jill, the folks who like to be called what they have always been called, the folks who live on the hill, the folks who live on the hill. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Our next performer is a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for a number of decades, and we also are very friendly competitors in the residential real estate business. She's a star player with the Dave Perry Miller Company, and she has a wonderful voice, which you're going to love tonight. Karen Fry Weiss Brick.
Is this on? Yes. This song is written by Jeffrey D. Harris, and he is not on Broadway yet as a composer. He does a lot of composing for Marlene McGovern, but he'll be there soon. So. The autumn world. I'm sorry. I had the wrong line. Sorry. The summer's over now, the autumn world is gone. This autumn world forgets its April call. There's been no sun here since your laughter left the world. Without your footsteps, I forgot the day could be so still. Bring back all the dreamers, bring back every song. Bring me back the season when the light and life was long. Bring back all things beautiful that move and sigh and gleam. Bring back my dreamer to his dream. I hear your voice, I see your face, I know you're there. I feel you brush against me on the stair. Your glasses still sit on the table by the bed. I wear your watch now. Funny, I'm the one who's late instead. Bring back all the moments. Bring back every day. Bring me back the life we had before it slipped away. Bring back all the laughs and cry, each whisper, sigh, and scream. Bring back my dreamer to his dream. Nothing lasts forever, thank you, I've heard that before. All I want's a miracle, nothing less, nothing more. Bring back all the dancing, bring back every song. Bring me back the season when the life and love was long. Bring back all things beautiful that move and sigh and gleam. Bring back my dreamer to his dream. Bring back my dreamer to his dream.
Well, if you haven't already guessed, we have a marvelous accompanist today, a musical arranger, David Haskins. He's really what makes all this happen. And he picks our music, arranges it, and also is really about the best accompanist in the Metroplex. I think he is. I met David a few years ago, probably a decade ago. Time rushes by quickly, as we all know. And they were doing a program at the Dallas Summer Musical School on cabaret. And one of the real bonuses in the class I took is I got to meet the next young man who has such a glorious voice. His name is Brad Reed. He's going to be doing a song by Stephen Sondheim from a show called Roadshow, which nobody's ever heard of because it's never been successfully performed, but it's about the founding of Palm Beach and the Misner brothers, and it's called Talent. Please welcome Brad Reed.
This is a song about somebody who experienced a failure and picked up the pieces and made something really great out of it. When I was a tyke, I said what I like is art. I know I'm a boy, but what I enjoy is art. Music and paintings, going to plays, music and books informing my days, filling my mind, flooding my heart with art. I had this dream of becoming an artist, a painter, a poet, who knows? I had a nice little talent for drawing and a natural feeling for prose. I even began to compose. So many talents, wasn't I blessed? All of them good, a few of them better, none of them best. Just enough talent to know that I hadn't the talent. So I put my dreams and my self-esteem to rest. I couldn't decide, then one day I spied Palm Beach. A speck on the map, no more than a gap. Palm Beach, jungle and seashore, muddy and raw. But in my mind I suddenly saw what it would take, what I could make. Palm Beach. I had a dream of a city of artists, Versailles by the Florida Sea. A little world congregation of artists, all encouraged to set themselves free. I knew what I wanted to be. I'd be their host and supporter, the patron saint of the things that they write and compose and paint. I shall wander among them with lavish praise as they carve their statues, construct their plays, design their buildings, recite their rhymes, making modern art fit for modern times. So many talents gathered en masse, artists and dreamers, poets and painters, watered like grass. And if the talent I have is for nurturing talent, then succeed or fail, I shall see they sail first class. And my father can go stick it up his ass.
Isn't that a great song? Just such a great song. And yes. Well, we keep the pace and the mood changing. Next, we have a stunning blonde who hails from California originally, although Texas has been her home the last 2 decades. She is a wonderful musician. She writes music. She teaches. And she's going to, her name is Marlene Bickley. She is going to do a medley of 3 songs, one from a show called Hallelujah Baby, and that song is called God Give Me Strength by Comden, Green, and Stein, and then 2 wonderful Burt Bacharach numbers, One Less Bell to Answer, and God Give Me Strength. Please welcome Marlene Bickley.
Thank you. Being good isn't good enough. special wings, so far to go from so far below. Should I try? Am I strong enough? Is there time? Have I long enough? Gotta try, and if I fall, that's the way it's gotta be. There's no other way for me. Being good just won't be good enough. I'll be the best or nothing at all. Now I have nothing, so God, give me strength when the phone doesn't ring and I'm lost in imagining everything that kind of love is worth as I tumble back to the earth. God, give me strength. God, if he'd grant me his indulgence and decline, I might as well wipe him from my memory, fracture the spell as he becomes my enemy. And maybe I was washed out like a lip print on his shirt. See, I'm only human. I want him to hurt. God. That song is sung out. This bell is rung out. He was the light that I blessed. He took my last chance at happiness. God, give me strength. God, give me strength. One less bell to answer, one less egg to fry, one less man to pick up after. I should be happy, but all I do is cry, cry. No more laughter. Oh, why did he go? Since he left, my life so empty. Though I try to forget, it just can't be done. Each time the doorbell rings, I still run. I don't know how in the world to stop thinking of him. Oh, I still love him so. I end each day the way I start out, crying my heart out. Should I try? Am I strong enough? Is there time? Have I long enough? Gotta try, and if I fall, that's the way it's gotta be. There's no other way for me. Being good just won't be good enough. I'll be the best or nothing at all.
Well, you heard Justin Lott and Jacqueline Langfelder sing tonight a few minutes ago, and now we've got the great honor of hearing Justin on his own doing Letters from, what's it called? Letters from a War?
Letters from War.
Or Letters from War.
Good evening. This is a wonderful piece by Mark Schultz and Cindy Morgan. It's actually not from a show. It was written back in 2006. And it's an inspirational tale about a son coming home from war and a mother who is definitely missing him. And it's an inspirational tale, and I hope you enjoy it.
She walked to the mailbox on that bright summer's day, found a letter from her son in a war far away. He spoke of the weather and good friends that he'd made. Said, I've been thinking about Dad and the life that he had. That's why I'm here today. And then at the end he said, you are what I'm fighting for. It was the first of his letters from war. She started writing, you're good and you're brave. What a father that you'll be someday. Make it home, make it safe. She wrote every night as she prayed. And late in December, a day she'll not forget. Oh, her tears stained the paper with every word that she read. It said, I was up on a hill, I was out there alone, when the shots all rang out and bombs were exploding. That's when I saw him, he came back for me. And though he was captured, a man set me free. And that man was your son. He asked me to write to you. I told him I would, oh, I swore. It was the last of his letters from war. And she prayed he was living, kept on believing, and wrote every night just to say, you are good and you're brave. What a father that you'll be someday. take it home, make it safe. Still she kept writing each day. And then 2 years later, autumn leaves all around. A car pulled in the driveway, and she fell to the ground. And out stepped a captain, where her boy used to stand. He said, "Mom, I'm following orders from all of your letters, and I've come home again." He ran in to hold her. He dropped all his bags on the floor, holding all of her letters from war. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
Brad did the song, Sondheim song from a show that was not successful, the song about talent. And Jackie Langfelder, our glorious soprano, is going to do a song that was written before West Side Story, before Gypsy, before any of his shows. He probably was about 25 at the time. Obviously, he was a talent, a genius from the get-go. It's a song called The Girls from Summer, Jackie Langfelder, 1956.
Summer get burned. They're taught the summer unconcerned. They get undone by a touch of sun in June, plus a touch of the moon. The girls of summer get fooled, for soon the summer heat has cooled. And come September, they can't remember why things were hot in July. Not me, it's too easy to fall. A moonlit and a faraway band, and that's all. Not me, I don't easily thrill, never did, never will. The end of summer's at hand. I thought the summer was grand, and here I am with the same undamaged heart that I had at the start. The girls of summer forget to run. The girls of summer were bound to lose. The girls of summer have all the fun. I got nothing but blues.
great song. You know, part of the fun in doing these shows, it's so easy to pick the ones that everybody knows, but it's nice to be able to do songs that you don't have Tony Bennett or Frank Sinatra or Mary Martin voice in your head. So that's just a great song that David and Jacqueline found and delivered beautifully. Karen is going to talk about things that don't work out in the musical theater world, just like in the real world. But the Las Vegas impresario Steve Wynn decided about 15 years ago that he could do better than New York, and he would hire Jerry Herman, who wrote Mame and La Cage aux Folles and Hello Dolly, to do a show that would premiere in Las Vegas. So Herman wrote the show, brilliant score. Then Wynn sells the MGM Grand. The new owners have no interest in the show. But the music remains, and Karen's going to do Where Is My Prince?
When Mr. Herman wrote this song, he enlisted 2 people to help him with the lyrics. So it had to have been a party because it was Steve Lawrence of Steve and Edie fame and Michael Feinstein. So it's a very witty song about a very man-hungry middle-aged woman. So I'm not middle-aged yet, so it doesn't really apply to me. You know? Countries and counties and physical bounties and orchards and orchids of quince. I have barrels of rubies and breathtaking boobies, but where in the world is my prince? Every day Neiman Marcus massages my carcass. Sassoon gives my tresses a rinse. I've been trained by Nijinsky and coached by Lewinsky, but where in the world is my prince? Then along came a man from a land that was far, far away. He was strong, he was smart, he was sweet, he was rich, he was gay. I have ladies in waiting and Forbes' highest rating. It shouldn't be hard to convince some young dude to devour me, to come and deflower me. Oh, where in the world is my prince? Then along came a man bearing gifts and a bucket of gold. Well, he was strong, he was smart, he was sweet, he was rich, he was old. And so while I've been sitting, my stocks have been splitting and gathering dust ever since. So pray come and corrupt me, seduce and abduct me. Come delve in my treasures, unspeakable pleasures. Oh, where in the world is my prince? So I learned watching Zsa Zsa please some Maharaja with tricks that could make a girl wince. Send a shy or a proud one, just one well-endowed one. Pray someone starts calling before they start falling. Oh, where in the world is my prince?
Yes. Gunther's out there. Let's see. What happened to that? Oh, the microphone. Here it is. It's the details that elude me sometimes. That great song was by Jerry Herman from the show This Spectacular. And so we're on a Jerry Herman roll. I'm going to do another song from that show and a song from one of his hit shows, La Cage aux Folles, in a medley. So. My great dream is a simple dream, and the journey's not very far. Nothing grand or extravagant, just a world that we can share together. Just a quiet and simple life where we both can be what we are. Just a kid and a man and his wife in a house that's nestled by a stream. Just a little piece of sky, just a room that's filled with love, and that's all there is to my great dream. Do you recall that windy little beach we walked along that afternoon in fall? That afternoon we met. A fellow with a concertina sang. What was the song? It's strange what we recall, and odd what we forget. I heard la da 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 as we walked on the sand. I heard la da da da. I believe it was early September. Through the crash of the waves, I could tell that the words were romantic. Something about sharing, something about always. Though the time tumbles by, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can barely remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear la da 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 dum, and we're young and in love. Just a quiet and simple life where we both can be what we are. Just a kid and a man and his wife in a house that's nestled by a stream. Just a little piece of sky, just a room that's filled with love, and that's all there is to my great dream. I believe it was early September. Through the crash of the waves, I could tell that the words were romantic. Something about always. something about sharing. Though the time rushes by, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can barely remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear la da 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 dum, and we're young and in love. Beautiful songs. Well, we have one more song before we break, and it's from a show called Song of Norway, which was a big hit right at the end of World War II. And in fact, it was the first Broadway show that made the trip across the Atlantic to London after the war. And our resident tenor and soprano are going to give us some glorious music and some strange music to end this first part. Okay.
The summer winds are sighing, the leaves are lullabying.
Violins are all around you. I can hear the chords resound with bounding breasts that seem to say, I found you, I found you, I found you. Strange music in my ear. Only now, as you spoke, did it start. Strange music of the spheres. Could its lovely hum be coming from my heart? You appear, and I hear song sublime, song that I'm incapable of. So dear, let me hold you near, while we treasure every measure, so that time can never change the strange new music of love.
Strange music of the spheres, only now as you spoke did it start.
Strange music in my ear. Only now as you spoke did it start.
Strange music of the spheres.
some more refreshments, and we'll take a 15-minute break.
Okay, we're going to try to get started again. And you are a fantastic audience. We, you know, all the time we've been rehearsing this, the thing that's been missing is the audience, is you. We're going to begin the second part of the program with Marlene Bickley, again singing a song called Times Like This from a show that was in London's West End but never made it to Broadway, and it was based upon the 1983 novel, The Man Who Broke the Bank at Monte Carlo. Marlene Bickley.
All I have to say is I am happy to be sitting here doing what is meaningful to me. Working on behalf of the universal dog home, not barking up a stranger's tree. Now, my idea of company would be a friendly face, the kind of face that melts you with a grin, the kind of eyes that welcome you the minute you walk in, a tender glance you simply can't refuse. Times like this, a girl could use a dog. He listens when you tell him things, there's nothing you can't say. And unlike certain people, you can teach him how to stay. And when the world is giving you the blues, he cheers you up by chewing up the news. It's things like that that make you choose a dog. Other people need romance, dancing, playing around. Other people need constant fun. Well, I'm not one. I have my feet on the ground. Give me a quiet night, a stack of books, a tuna melt on rye, a simple walk together underneath the starry sky, and suddenly the night is something rare, and all because there's someone special there who's gazing at the view, his head upon your shoe. At times like this, I sure could use a dog.
Thank goodness for our four-legged friends, right? Justin's now going to do a song from a Jerry Herman show called Dear World. It was based upon the 1945 French play, The Mad Woman of Chaillot. And in researching the play, what the subject of the play was, I found this very interesting, being a Texan. The play is about countesses who deviously scheme to stop businessmen from drilling oil in Paris. 1945. Eternal things, I guess, no matter what the decade is. And Justin nails this song. Kiss Her Now.
Before you half remember what her smile was like, before you half recall the day you found her, kiss her now while she's young. Kiss her now while she's yours. Kiss her now while she needs your arms around her. For if you let a moment come between you now, it soon becomes a day, a year, a lifetime. Blink your eye, turn your head, and you've lost her. And you'll spend half your life wondering how. So before you forget how you loved her, kiss her now, kiss her now.
The passion of that song and the passion of his delivery, just every time I hear that, I get goosebumps. We're now going to switch to the underbelly of Times Square. In the 1980s, 42nd Street, you know, it wasn't always the way it is now, all Disney-fied and everything. And Cy Coleman and Ira Gassman wrote a wonderful musical called, was it called The Life? Yeah. And Jackie's going to do a medley from that show.
Everybody tells me that I'm wrong, sticking with a man like him so long. Don't you think that I already knew that? I discovered long ago that he's no good, but I'm no good without him. Don't matter what he's done before, I keep on coming back for more. And he's a fool, but I'm a fool about him, believing that he'd change somehow. You think that I would learn by now, but there's nothing I can do, no place I can go. He is all I want, that is all I know. I should cut him loose, oh, but what's the use? He's no good, but I'm no good without him. I never thought you'd hurt me bad enough to make me tell you that I've had enough. I thought our love would take us all the way, and now I hardly can believe what I'm about to say. I'm leaving you. Whatever happened to the dream we used to share? Whatever happened to the love that once was there? Whatever happened to me and you? pride and losing face. I can take anything but second place. You were the only joy I ever knew, but you can save your sweet talk, baby, 'cause your baby's through believing you. I'm leaving you. We had a dream, don't you remember? We had a dream, just you and me, now and forever. We had a dream, make a little magic every day, never let the magic go away. Right from the start, back in Savannah, we had a dream. You were my man, I was your woman. That's all we knew. Nobody cared, nobody counted, just me and you. Then you went and had a change of heart. Maybe I was dreaming from the start. Every promise turned into a lie. Now there's nothing left but say goodbye. We had a dream. We had a dream. You're no good, but I'm no good without you. Believing that you'd change somehow. You think I would have learned by now. But there's nothing I can do, no place I can go. You are all I want, that is all I know. I should cut you loose. Oh, but what's the use? You're no good, but I'm no good without you.
Well, to continue our journey along the seedy side of 42nd Street, Karen's going to tell us about the oldest profession.
Situated here. I'm worn out. I'm weary. I ain't no machine. My head hurts. My feet hurts. And everything in between. I'm getting too old for the oldest profession. I'm getting too tired and too slow. I'm getting too tired for those half-hour sessions. I'm getting too tired for a pro. I'm getting too old for to climb up those stairs now a half dozen times every night. I'm getting too old for to take 'em in pairs now, and to take off my clothes in the light. Whoa! I can't seem to manage those Shriners who manage to manhandle me every night. To tell you the truth, I've had so many Shriners that I'm up for membership. When I was 16, it was fun playing tricks. I needed the money and I wanted some kicks. But I ain't 16. I just turned 26. It's time to come in from the cold. Looks like I'm getting too old. I'm tired of doing those deadbeats and pikers and haggling over the price. I'm tired of spending those weekends at Rikers. You never meet anyone nice. I've done everything that a body can do, but how goddamn much can a body go through? I'm getting too old for the endless procession. I'm getting too old for the constant depression. I'm getting too old for the oldest profession. I'm getting too old for the life. I'm weary. I'm tired. I'm getting too old for the
I was going to say, if you ever need it for business again, you might don't want to lose it.
Harry Hines.
Again, our intent in this program was to give you many, many different expressions of what life is. And Brad is going to do a song. It's from a cycle. The song is called And the Rain Keeps Falling Down. It's from a 1991 song cycle by Bill Russell and Janet Hood, and entitled Elegies for Angels, Punks, and Raging Queens. Each, it's not a upbeat song though. It's maybe there are some upbeat songs in this show, but it's written from the perspective of someone who has died from AIDS. Brad, please.
Yes, my friend, it's raining again today. I never understood why you chose to stay in a climate that's mostly wet and gray, when what you loved was a sun so hot it turned the green grass brown, and the rain keeps falling down. Thought the sky would cry itself dry by this time. Thought that I would see the sun by now. One more tear might wash away this God God-forsaken town, but the rain keeps falling down. Who am I? A regular kind of guy. I never let the clouds clutter up my sky. Learn to party, but never learn to cry. And even now my tears won't fall. They're painted on a cloud. And the rain keeps falling down. Wish that I could let go like the storm clouds, burst through the dam like a flood tearing down a wall. Heaven seems to weep with far less reason, but I can't cry at all. Thought the clouds would cry themselves dry by this time. Thought that I would see the sun by now. One more tear might wash away this God-forsaken town, but the rain keeps falling down. Yes, the rain keeps falling down.
We're coming to the last few numbers of the show, and a couple of things I wanted to say. This week, one of the great ladies of song passed away. She was the one who first inspired me as to how wonderful a cabaret audience and situation can be, to hear these wonderful songs. I don't know if many of you know her name. Her name was Julie Wilson. And she was 90 years old. She was a wonderful singer-actress and used to come often to Dallas and played at the Carlisle and the Algonquin, and she'll be very missed. But I want to dedicate this next song to her, which is a Sondheim song. She was very good with Sondheim, and a friend of mine says, you know, Sondheim is the most Freudian of songwriters, and this song called "Marry Me a Little" is from a big hit show called Company. It was cut from the when it was originally done, but in recent decades, it's now part of the official score. And as you see, this guy can't quite decide what he wants to do about marriage. Marry me a little, love me just enough, cry but not too often, play but not too rough, keep a tender distance so we'll both be free, that's the way it ought to be. I'm ready, marry me a little, do it with a will. Make a few demands I'm able to fulfill. Want me more than others, not exclusively. That's the way it ought to be. I'm ready now. You can be my best friend, I can be your right arm. We'll go through a fight or two. No harm, no harm. We'll look not too deep. We'll go not too far. We won't have to give up a thing. We'll stay who we are. Right? Okay then, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Someone marry me a little. Love me just enough. Warm and sweet and easy. Just the simple stuff. Keep a tender distance so we'll both be free. That's the way it ought to be. I'm ready, marry me a little. Body, heart, and soul, passionate as hell, but always in control. Want me first and foremost, keep me company. That's the way it ought to be. I'm ready now. Oh, how gently we'll talk. Oh, how softly we'll tread. All the stings, the ugly things we'll keep unsaid. We'll build a cocoon of love and respect. You promise whatever you like, I'll never collect. Right? Okay then, I'm ready now. Someone, I'm ready. Thank you. That's a great song. Tricky rhythm, but great song. This is my last solo. I wanted to say something about teachers and students. You know, that's at the Institute. We have the wonderful Summer Teachers Institute, and one of the things I've learned through my years here at the Institute and through working with wonderful teachers like David is what a wonderful relationship the student-teacher relationship is. You know, no matter what age we are, we can always grow. We can always be pushed to be better. And David Haskins, for all of us, I was going to say musicians, for musicians and those who want to be musicians, he really makes us go the distance, and we really appreciate that about you, David. Okay, you know, there's no better Broadway music than Sondheim, so let's just stay with Sondheim. And Jackie and Justin are going to do a number from Follies, which is about a reunion of show people. This theater that they'd all performed in decades earlier is being torn down, and they're having one final reunion. And lots of things that had been forgotten about are brought up once again. So, Jackie and Justin, Too Many Mornings from Follies.
Justin and I met in a production of HMS Pinafore back in, I don't know, 2008.
It's been a few
we
years.
played
Not
opposite
that long.
of each other with the Living Opera, which is now dead, but we're sorry.
Ironic, isn't it?
Too many mornings, waking and pretending I reach for you. Thousands of mornings, dreaming of my girl. All that time, wasted merely passing through. Time I could have spent so content, wasting time with you. Too many mornings wishing that the room might be filled with you. Morning to morning, turning into days. All the days that I thought would never end. All those nights with another day to spend. All those times I'd look up and see Sally standing at the door, Sally moving to the bed, Sally resting in my arms, with her head against my head.
I planned what I'd wear tonight, and when should I get there? How should I find you? Where I'd stand, what to say in case you didn't remember, how I'd remind you you remembered, and my fears were wrong. Were we ever real? Did I ever love you this much? Did we ever feel so happy then?
It was always
Too
real.
many mornings wasted in pretending I reached for you. How many mornings are there still to come? How much time can we hope that there will be? Not much time, but this time enough for me. If there's time to look up and see Sally standing at the door, Sally moving to the bed, Sally resting in my arms, with my head against my head.
Well, for our last two numbers, we're going to bring you up to Broadway 2015. One of the big hits that opened, I think about a year and a half ago, was based upon Carole King's music. It's called Beautiful. And, Carole King has, I think it's one, if not the best-selling album of all time, one of the top selling albums of all time, Tapestry, which came out in 1971 and sold 25 million copies. Right. And Marlene's going to do a medley of the song Tapestry with Colors of My Life, which is from a Cy Coleman, Michael Stewart show about P.T. Barnum. Please welcome back Marlene Bickley.
The colors of my life are bountiful and bold. The purple glow of innocence indigo, the gleam of green and gold, the splendor of a sunrise, the dazzle of a flame, the glory of a rainbow. I'd put 'em all to shame. No quiet browns or grays, I'll take my days instead and fill them till they overflow with rose and a cherry red. And if that sunlit sky grows dark one day, the colors of my life will be a shining light to show the way. My life has been a tapestry of rich and royal hues, an everlasting vision of an ever-changing view, a wondrous woven magic in bits of blue and gold, a tapestry to see and feel, impossible to hold. Once amid the soft silver sadness in the sky, I met a man of fortune, a drifter passing by. He wore a torn and tattered cloth around his leathered hide, and a coat of many colors, yellow, green on either side. He moved with such uncertainty, as if he didn't know just what he was there for or where he had to go. Once he reached for something golden hanging on a tree. His hand came down empty. Soon within my tapestry, along the rutted road, he sat down on a river rock and turned into a toad. It seemed that he had fallen into someone's wicked spell, and I wept to see him suffer, though I didn't know him well. As I watched in sorrow, there suddenly appeared a figure, gray and ghostly beneath the flowing beard. At times of deepest darkness, I've seen him dressed in black. Now my tapestry's unraveling. He's come to take me back. He's come to take me back. The colors of my life are softer than a breeze. The silver gray of eider down, the dappled green of trees, the amber of a wheat field, the hazel of a seed, the crystal of a raindrop are all I'll ever need. Your reds are much too bold. In gold I find no worth. I'll spend my days in sage and brown, the colors of the earth. And should that sunlit sky grow dark one day, the colors of my life will be a shining light to show the way.
Brad and I are going to do a duet from the show that won all the Tonys this last year called A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. And it's a tricky one. Very Gilbert and Sullivan-like. So. What? Before we get started, about a week ago, David said, let's add some choreography. I have not gotten the choreography down. Brad's got it down better than I do, so he may be doing something. I'm going to just try to follow along.
It's better with a man. When a fellow needs a little helping hand, who'll be there? It's almost guaranteed. No one else could ever really understand. Only another man knows what you need. And when a man has fallen down upon his knees, in such a moment, who'd be better than someone who's self-controlled, someone who's strong and bold, someone who's good as gold? It's better with a man. Well, then you agree, my friend.
I do. When a man is lonely, he can always find another man who's feeling just the same. Drink will help you get your troubles off your mind. You'll both be blind before you know his name. And in that rousing climax when the horse comes in, who will cheer as loudly as he can? Only a man can see the meaning of victory. Oh, the camaraderie. It's better with a man.
Better with a man.
Women have much to recommend.
Lord knows I've had my share. But when a fellow needs a friend, that's a totally different affair.
Women are soft against your skin. They're awfully nice to nestle with.
But when a man's what is masculine, you need a man to wrestle with. Gentlemen have secrets they will
Gentlemen have
never
secrets
tell.
they will
No,
never tell. They'll never tell their wives.
Tell their wives. Married men know there are things you must not say.
Discretion is the only way that
love survives. Men are always there,
always there to share and take good care as
for
mates and brothers.
instance.
Take a look at us.
Take a look at us.
It's been ever thus since boarding school began.
Women are too complex.
Women too often vex.
Men
Are the simpler sex.
It's better with a man.
Better with a man.
Better with a man.
Better with a man. Bottoms up. Thank you. Would our whole cast come up here so we can get a big round of applause for everyone? Brad Reed, Jacqueline Langfelder, Karen Weisbrick, Marlene Bickley, and Justin Lott. Thank you. And David Haskins, yes, David. Thank you, yes. Thank you. Well, we've had so much fun pulling this together, and I hope that we can convince the esteemed Dr. Larry Allums to let us do this again. But we really appreciate you coming out tonight and enjoying all this great music with us. So thank you so much. There's still, I think, more food and beverage, and again, thanks so much for coming.